guys, it's Alicia. Today I am going to be trying a new recipe, and that is one that I found on the Weight Watcher website when I was looking around, and it caught my attention because first of all, it's cinnamon rolls, which I love. But second of all, this recipe starts with the 2-ingredient pizza dough that I absolutely love too. And I use that dough for not only pizza, but other different things. And so I thought it'd be really fun to try this recipe and see how it works in cinnamon rolls. So that's what I'm gonna be making today, is Weight Watchers version of cinnamon rolls. So what you're gonna need for these is, to start off, you're gonna need some self-rising flour, some non-fat plain Greek yogurt, 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, some vanilla, ground cinnamon, and a little bit of powdered sugar. And that is it. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our self-rising flour. We're gonna do 2 cups of this. Well, actually, the very first thing we're gonna do is get the oven preheated to 350. So I've got that preheating right now. And I'm gonna take 2 cups of the self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising flour, you can use regular flour. You're just gonna wanna add a little bit of baking powder to that. I believe it's, I'll put up what it is on the screen. I can't remember what the proportion is per cup. So I've got 2 cups of my self-rising flour. Now I'm gonna add to that 2 tablespoons of the powdered sugar. And I'm gonna mix these 2 together and get it everywhere, as I usually do. I'm gonna mix these 2 together real well. Okay, I've got this all nice and mixed together. And I also went and checked on the self-rising flour, and if you don't have self-rising flour, it's super simple to make. You just take, for every 1 cup of flour, you add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and then also a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that's all you have to do to make self-rising flour. But I just buy it because that's even easier. Anyway, I've got that mixed together, so I'm gonna set that aside now. And now in a medium-sized bowl here, I'm gonna take my egg and a tablespoon of vanilla. And to that, I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of the Greek yogurt. And now I'm gonna mix all of this together real well. All right, I've got this all mixed together. Now I'm gonna take this and I'm going to add it to my flour mixture. And I'm gonna stir the 2 of these together until this turns into basically a dough. It's not gonna be totally perfect, but it's gonna start to look like a dough. Okay, as you can see there, it's starting to look like dough. So at this point, now that I've got it all kind of combined together, I'm going to flour my surface here. A little bit of that self-rising flour. And I'm gonna just dump this out. And I'm gonna start kneading this by hand. And it says that you should knead it for about 2 minutes. Now with the 2-ingredient pizza dough, it takes about 5 minutes of kneading. This is different though, like I said. It's got some different ingredients in there, so it's gonna make it a little bit different to work with, but I'm gonna do like they say and knead this for 2 minutes, and then I will be back. All right, I've kneaded this for a couple minutes, and this is what it looks like. So now you're supposed to take this dough and place it on a piece of parchment paper that has been lightly floured. So I'm gonna do that. And then you're supposed to roll this out into roughly a 12 by 9 inch kind of rectangle. So I'm gonna do that to the best of my ability here. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. That's probably about as good as I'm gonna get. I'm really bad at forming dough, so I'll call that good. So at this point, you're supposed to take your brown sugar and your cinnamon and sprinkle it evenly on here. And I'm gonna do that, but first, I'm gonna add a little bit of this, I can't believe it's not butter, spray. Now this is not in the recipe, this is just something that I wanna do, or wanna add, because I have made plenty of cinnamon rolls through the years, and they always, always, always have a ton of butter in them, including this point. So obviously butter is not Weight Watcher friendly. So I'm gonna just spritz a little bit of this stuff on here, or a lot bit, however you want to look at it. And that's gonna kind of take the place of the butter for me. And this stuff is 0 points. I'm sure at some point, once you get enough sprays on there, maybe it is points, but it says 0 calories per serving. So just gonna spray a little bit of that on there. And then I'm going to take my brown sugar here and try to sprinkle this as evenly on here as I can. Okay, got my brown sugar on there. Now it says to sprinkle on a tablespoon of cinnamon. I'm gonna just do that by eye and just sprinkle however much on here that I want. I like cinnamon, so I'm gonna put a decent amount on there. Now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna start rolling it lengthwise. As tightly as possible. And I'm having a little bit of sticking issue, but I'm gonna get this rolled up and then I will be back. There it is rolled. That was not the easiest thing. Like I said, this stuck a little bit, but having it on the parchment paper did help. So I don't know how tight I got this rolled though. It probably could stand to be rolled a little bit tighter. Now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna cut it into 12 different pieces and try to make them as even as I can, but the end pieces are gonna be a little, well, a little less dense than the middle, but I'm gonna try to do as evenly as I can. All right, I've got those all cut, and as you can see here, I was definitely having issues with the dough sticking, so I probably should have added a little extra flour to my dough, just so I didn't have so much sticking, but hopefully that's gonna be fine, and it's gonna work. So now what I'm gonna do with these is I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna put them in a, I think it's 11 by 7 inch dish. I'm gonna just spray the bottom of that and place these in here, or place these in there, and I'll show you that here in a second. So here's the dish I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna just spray it with a little cooking spray so these don't stick. Then I'm gonna just lay these like that in there. All right, and here they are all in the pan. I'm gonna cook these in the oven. Like I said, it's 350 and it says for 22 to 25 minutes. So I'm gonna get these baking and I will show you how to do the glaze while these are baking. So for the glaze, you're gonna take a half cup powdered sugar and 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. And you're gonna just mix all that together. And the recipe does say that it takes a little bit to get this to kind of come to a good consistency. So, but never fear, it's supposed to, and it's already getting there. That didn't take that long at all, actually. But there you have it, the glaze. So I'll just set this aside until it is ready to go on the cinnamon rolls. Okay, it's been 22 minutes and I'm gonna go ahead and pull those out and let them cool for 10 minutes before I pour the glaze over them. Okay, I let these sit for 10 minutes and now I'm gonna pour this glaze over the top of them. All right, here's a couple of them on a plate. Now these are 5 points a piece on the green plan. I think they're 5 points a piece on the blue and purple, but I will double check that and I will have that up on the screen. Like I said, I've never made these before, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite. Those are good. They're definitely good. The dough is good. Let's see if you can kind of see. I probably could have stood to cook these a couple more minutes, but I kind of like my baked goods a little bit on the undercooked side. But yeah, they have really good flavor. The glaze is good. I think this is definitely something that I would make again. Yeah, very, very good. They're not Cinnabons by any stretch of the imagination, but they're definitely good. So yeah, I would call those a win. Like I said, I love that 2-ingredient dough anyway. So anytime I can find a way to use it, or in this case, it was added to a little bit, but it's still, the base was the 2-ingredient dough. I just love using it. So these are no exception. I think these are really good. 5 points a piece. I don't know, not bad really for the size. So yeah, like I said, I would definitely make these again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.